Daylight, my MVVs, welcome. Iyagba is alleged to be in a very high spirit as Ooni of Ife and Queen Naomi stormed the palace of the Ooni of Ife to, collectively explain things to her because Queen Naomi and Ooni of Ife's biggest concern was Iyagba. Iyagba happens to be the oldest woman in the palace of the Ooni of Ife, who, in fact, is doing everything within her power to ensure that Queen Naomi comes back to the palace. She says she's not going to join her ancestors until she sees to the return of Queen Naomi back into the palace. Right now, one of the happiest events of her life was going to happen tomorrow, but as unfortunately, it's been truncated by, the deeds of whoever and these women. As it is alleged right now, Ooni of Ife had to bring Queen Naomi into the palace so they can sit down and speak to Yagba. They said that Yagba was very happy to see them, and they sat down and they spoke to Yagba, explaining the situation of things to Yagba. But they said Yagba was very happy because of the fact that he and she felt happiness, like felt this level of happiness in them, both of them, as they were explaining. Now, the thing is that this is not a situation where anybody would say Queen Naomi was defeated. No, Queen Naomi has not been defeated. Queen Naomi still won at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, Queen Naomi is the one who has the right to storm the palace anytime she pleases, to see her husband. Right now, as it is, Queen Naomi can actually spend the night in the palace of the Ooni of Ife and with Tadenikawo anytime she pleases. The Oloris are said not to be allowed into the palace. Like the restriction still stays, and they are still going to stay in the Olori mansion. That is where they are going to stay, whether they like it or yes, that is where they are indeed still going to stay. So as it is right now, as we are hearing, if the information we are hearing is the truth, Queen Naomi actually won so much. Okay, now basically this is not to say Ooni of Ife was very, very upset about the fact that this didn't happen, but then when people started talking to Ooni of Ife, he had to understand the fact that you will not take because of these women and come and do something that will be detrimental to your wife's life. Okay, now the question they were asking was, where is Queen Naomi going to stay? Because from all the information they got from the different diviners that were sent to the palace, they said that if they had intercepted that cow before it was buried in Queen Naomi's apartment, that they would have just done the sacrifice for Queen Naomi to move in. But the fact that the hair of the cow started growing right there in the apartment is unsafe for Queen Naomi to move in. It is darkness, it is dark cloud, it is everything that Queen Naomi cannot stay there with Tadenikawo. So they have to do cleansing. As a matter of fact, Iyaagbe said that they will have to, even that Kabiyesi should not even put Queen Naomi in that apartment, that Kabiyesi should move Queen Naomi, try to fix another place for Queen Naomi right there in the palace. And, I started feeling bad for this man. I said, polygamy is not your mate. Now he has to start all over again trying to fix a place for Queen Naomi. The question is that, if Queen Naomi came to the palace, where would she have stayed? And that happens to be the question that a lot of people were asking the Ooni of Ife. So right now, Ooni of Ife and Queen Naomi are alleged to have stormed the palace to meet with Iyaagbe, to kind of tell Iyaagbe what had happened, the situation of things and everything. And they say Iyaagbe was in a very high spirit to have seen them together. Iyaagbe was in a very high spirit to was in a high spirit because she found out that they are both happy, they are okay, and they are okay with the arrangement. That, as a matter of fact, it was Queen Naomi who was begging Ooni of Ife to let go, that this is not a sign of defeat, that everything will be okay. as soon as everything is fixed in the palace of the Ooni of Ife. So, as we are hearing, they stormed the palace and they spoke to Iyagba. Iyagba was very, very pleased, and that was what happened. Now, this Iyagba, they said right from when they brought Queen Naomi into the palace, Iyagba has always been there through thick and thin for Queen Naomi. This woman loved Queen Naomi so much. They say she's about the oldest woman in the palace right now. She is from the royal lineage, and she has been there. She grew up there and she has stayed there all her life. When Queen Naomi left, they said one person that event truly affected was Yagba, and people felt for her because she was very devastated. But unfortunately, she is blind, and so she's not able to go anywhere. But they say time when things were still very intense between Queen Naomi and Ooni of Ife, they say Queen Naomi would send beverages, send money, send a lot of things to Iyaagba. But right now, they say from time to time, she comes to the palace to be able to see Iyagba. And Oni was very concerned about how Iyagba would feel under the circumstances. And so they had to make a provision to return back to the palace so that they can speak to Iyagba about the decision that they have made to give it some time and fix the palace and fix Queen Naomi resident in the palace so that Queen Naomi can return back to the palace. That is the information we got right now. They say the people in the palace, even though a lot of people are disappointed, but then again, a lot of people are also understanding what is going on in the palace, because they want the best for Queen Naomi. Because they want the best for Queen Naomi, they are able to understand that Queen Naomi's safety should be the utmost priority for everyone, and that of Tadenikawo. And so people are able to understand the plight of Ooni of Ife and Queen Naomi. And again, I think if this story is true, I think that we should all understand that the fight is not easy. Ooni of Ife has battled a lot, and I think because Queen Naomi understands what the husband has been through, I think that is why she's showing this level of understanding. And a lot of people, so many people across the globe, are very pleased with the way that Queen Naomi has handled this issue with the Ooni of Ife. Right now, you see a woman who is truly, working towards, being the best and being there for her husband. I am praying that this understanding will continue. I am praying that, Queen Naomi will continue to know that no matter what happened, Ooni of Ife is her husband. And I am praying that Ooni of Ife will continue to keep his word, because this time, what people have seen, they have seen that Ooni of Ife has fought so much, just to get Queen Naomi back into the palace of the Ooni of Ife. I'm going to bring you more update. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.